Honestly, the Proud Family is not only for kids. There really should be no age limit to watching what you want.
I get it.
What were y'all doing?
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning back in. I'm back with another Proud Family video. But this video is going to talk about the Proud Family, but animation, cartoons in general. Because there's this idea that cartoons are for kids. Any kind of animation is for kids. And a lot of people like to push it away, or even if they secretly watch it, they think it's like a taboo, or they're embarrassed to admit that, oh, after a certain age, oh, I still watch cartoons or animated media. And while I discuss the Proud Family show specifically and how I feel like that's for all ages and all races, yeah, we're gonna talk about that too. I just want to talk about the animation medium not having an age limit on it. And first off, if you look up the TV rating for the Proud Family, the original and the reboot, you see that it's rated PG, meaning parental guidance, meaning there's topics and themes that a parent might need to be there with the kid to understand.
This is me and Maya's dad.
How y'all doing? Hey, how are you?
Just looking up the TV rating for the Proud Family, it says the Proud Family, Loud and Prouder, talking about the reboot, a Disney Plus animated comedy series, has a TV PG rating recommended for kids ages 10 to 18. But it's just recommended, right? It's on Disney. They only gonna go so far with certain things. The show may be suitable for older children because it covers real world issues like family, teen, and societal topics, including racism, equality, freedom of speech, and being gay. Some say the show is a rare gem because it features a black girl as the main character in a modern black family with both a mom and dad.
Haven't you embarrassed her enough?
Oh no, I'm just getting started.
And not only that, it's in the medium of animation, which to me, a lot of people like to overlook. And if you really look into what goes into making an animated show, animated movie, there's a lot of hard work goes into designing the characters, drawing the characters, the colors, the movement. Whether it's, back in the day, they used to have to hand draw everything, every movement, every page, thousands of pages just to make a character walk. Now with digital programming and everything, you would think it's easier, but still, you know how much time it takes to make 2 minutes of an animation, let alone a whole season of 10 episodes of a show. We have that break where it's like, oh, adult animation like a Family Guy or Simpsons or South Park or like a Big Mouth on Netflix. Those are adult animation, so it's like adults feel better watching that because it's like, oh, hey, this is like that risque animation. But y'all don't think kids watch that too? It's not adult animation. Kids can still watch that. Now, it's not preferred, it's not recommended, but kids still watch that. And don't get me wrong, there is a stark difference with animated shows because there's some that's really targeted for like little kids, like a Dora the Explorer, Blue's Clues, or Barney. But then you have those animated shows that kind of skate a fine line of everybody can watch this. It may be on a Nickelodeon or a Disney, but anybody can watch this, like an Arthur, PBS Kids, Hey Arnold, Nickelodeon, The Proud Family, Disney. Because another thing is, when you look up The Proud Family, the major theme of the show is coming of age. Coming of age means that there's an overall arc of maturity, growing up, teen to adult, those kind of situations, those kind of plots. And even if you look at some of the episodes with the Proud Family, you see that they mention Penny growing up, Penny becoming a woman.
Our little girl is becoming a young lady.
What no?
I'm becoming a woman.
Penny's father being overprotective because it's like, wow, my daughter's growing up.
I told you, Penny, no dating before you're married.
People deal with that in real life. How many of y'all had overprotective parents? How many of y'all had friends that had overprotective parents? Where it's just like, wow, your parents gave you freedom, but then that one or two friends that kind of like, oh, I can't go. My mother said I can't go. I gotta go. Y'all know what I'm talking about. To me, I love those type of themes in animation because it shows that animation is not just, let's learn our ABCs. What's 1 + 3? Animation is a beautiful really intensive art form. And I really appreciate all the artists, animators, anybody that works with animation, with the Proud Family, or just all of these shows, because it's not an easy job. It's not an easy job. A lot of people overlook it because it's animation, but y'all know how much work goes into it? Like I said, you know how much work goes into just making a character walk across the screen? Then you add the voice acting, and then the mouth movements, and then the background. It's just a lot.
I like pandas. What do I have to do?
With coming of age animations like the Proud Family, a lot of people have this attitude of, it's just a cartoon, who cares? That's childish. Because I got many comments like that on my channel.
Oh my God.
Not only have I got comments like that on my channel, I've seen it on Twitter or in the discussions. The Proud Family writers and animators, they exaggerate a lot of things for that reason, to emphasize on it, to get people to talk about it, right? What have I been doing these last few months? What have people been doing the last year talking about these episodes? Even months, years after it aired, they still talk about these episodes because that was the intent. That's the impact of it.
Oh, snap!
But sometimes the 8-year-old is gonna watch it for face value, for the entertainment, because you know, they even have episodes where there's a lot of crazy stuff, zany stuff happening, because you know, they gotta cater to all audiences, but then they have those episodes like the colorism episode or like the Juneteenth episode.
The way I hear, Noah's only into white girls.
Overall, within the show, you have things like fat phobia or ageism, homophobia. Those are coming of age things where as kids get older, they experience this, whether it's with somebody else or it's with themselves.
I know what a mama's boy is, but what's a double daddy's boy?
To me, I'm just saying, the Proud Family is one of those shows that make you self-reflect. Like even when I watch Hey Arnold, they had a lot of different episodes that made me self-reflect. Now, maybe not at that time when I was a little kid watching it, but as I got older and I watched it, rewatched it, I was like, oh, okay. Even Arthur, PBS Kids, is on PBS Kids, but Arthur covered a wide range of topics that was like, wow, okay. And to me, that just really interests me. It's taking the medium of animation to new heights. You have some type of reaction to the episode where you supposed to learn a lesson from it, or even if you didn't learn a lesson, it makes you question this, question that. Why did they do this? Why did they do that? Like I said, we can roast the Proud Family, Loud and Proud of some of those episodes all day, but at the end of the day, what happened? It made us have these discussions. A lot of people had a lot to say. I mean, look through my older videos of the Proud Family. Look through the comments. Thousands of comments, right? And some of the main ones I remember wasn't that many, but there were a lot of comments like, oh, who cares? This is a cartoon. Y'all doing all this about a cartoon. Who cares? This is animation. Y'all doing all this over the Proud Family? Y'all need to get a life. Go outside. Touch grass. You know, a lot of people like to say that. Oh, y'all need to get a life. It's not that serious. Da 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 da. But I'm like, okay, if this was a show with like live action, real people on Netflix, on Amazon Prime, would it just be a show? These shows are designed to talk about these real life topics. The Proud Family was always one of those shows that talked about these real life issues. Now, they exaggerated through the medium of animation, but it's still relatable topics, still real life, real world issues. Some of y'all ever noticed with the Proud Family, it goes from, oh, this is a kid's cartoon, to, I don't want my kids watching this.
Could somebody please make it make sense?
I even say this with other Disney or Pixar movies like A Turning Red or Soul or Elemental, where the animation is beautiful, but there's a story, there's some type of message within the animation. Beyond the beautiful animation, beyond the beautiful graphics, there's a story, there's a plot, or maybe multiple plots. And if you look at the behind the scenes, the creators or the animators had a story from their childhood or something that they wanted to tell through these mediums. It's just animation. You got Inside Out 2 coming out in a few days. I'm excited to see that, you know. Moana 2 coming out later on in the year. I'm excited to see that. Like, something about animation just really intrigues me. Different styles, how they can make a piece of hair look so real, but when it goes beyond that and it's like a storyline, there's a message, that's just the cherry on top. And going back to the Proud Family, because you know I'm going back and forth, there's many things that they discuss that an 8-year-old might not get, but somebody my age, you know, my late 20s, will get. There's many nods and callbacks to the original series, pop culture moments, references to the 80s and 90s somebody 18 or older will get. Even think about it like this. Kyla Pratt, the voice actress for Penny, when she first started doing it over 20 years ago, she was like 12, 13 years old, right? In that range, they say, of, oh, who the show was targeted for. But now, over 20 years later, she's in her 30s, she watches the show with her younger kids, who's around that 8 to 12 age range. It's not just like, oh, I voiced the main character, I'm just put it on for my 2 kids and let them watch it. She watches the show with them. And she even talked about in the interview, I saw how they ask her questions and they know it's her, but then they talk about some of the episodes together. That's the point. You know, as an adult, you can watch it, even if you don't have kids. You know, I don't have kids, but I still enjoy the show for what it tries to do.
I don't support any sport that pays women 1/20th of what they pay men.
The writing in some aspects may not be the best, but it's still effective in starting or continuing certain discussions. And another thing I want to talk about is the race issue with the Proud Family, where it's like a lot of people say, oh, it's only for black people, oh, it's so anti-white, the anti-white propaganda. I talked about that too in my white guilt video I did about the Proud Family. The Proud Family is not only for black people, it's for everybody to watch. Now I know certain aspects, again, may seem like it's only for black people, or only black people are gonna understand this, or it's like, okay, you have a white character, now we're gonna use her, Zoe, for our advantage to make her look bad, to make everybody against her.
See, Zoe, you just don't get it. I'm out.
Or the white father that adopted Maya to talk about white fragility, white privilege.
Do something with your white privilege.
But what did it do? It pushed the needle. It made people talk about this. No, they wasn't always in the favor of the writers and the show, but it still brought up that conversation. And I know a lot of people like to say, what's the point? Why are we still talking about race? Race relations are still not the best in the country. Race relations in general is still a big global issue. The Proud Family talks about these kind of issues. It was the perfect, may not have been the best writing, but it still brought on those discussions.
You're doing it right now.
Doing what?
Being defensive about race.
Will not stop until that statue of that slave owner comes tumbling down.
Some could say the Proud Family is for a certain demographic, age or race-wise, but other demographics are not excluded. Anybody can watch this show. The Proud Family is one of those shows that was meant to spark controversy because of the topics they discuss. Some people are going to get it, some people are not. Some people are not going to like the way it was done, like the last season of the reboot. But when you think about it, it's like, look at the discussion it created.
If somebody will make you a slave, they'll do anything.
Let's not jump to conclusions.
Overall, guys, that was my thoughts on the whole animation discussion of what's for kids. Should adults still watch? Is it immature to still watch certain animated shows at a certain age? You could watch whatever you want at any age. Especially with a show like The Proud Family, it's meant for all audiences. Some of the themes they discuss are for mature audiences. It's a coming of age show. Just because it's an animation, you shouldn't limit your reaction to, who cares, it's for kids.
Shut up!
You know, season 3 is coming up. Like I always ask y'all, because you know, who knows, season 3 might come out in 2030 because they take it forever. But that's another thing. Animation takes a long time. What kind of topics would y'all like to see discussed in season 3 of the Proud Family reboot? Let me know your thoughts down below, because I know there's going to be a common answer, but there's been a lot of different reactions to these videos and just the whole show and just animation in general. And I really want to know what y'all think about animation only being for kids versus animation being for a wide range of audiences, and not just adult animation like Family Guy. Animated shows like the Proud Family, adults can still watch. Shows like Hey Arnold, shows like Arthur, adults can still watch. I mean, if you still want to watch Blue's Clues, who's stopping you? If you still want to watch shows like Dora, who's stopping you? Animation, although it may have targeted demographics, that's not the limit for who can watch it. Please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching and listening. I'll see y'all in the next video.